Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending the webinar this morning. We're excited to take you for a quick tour through our MF Bookings module. This will focus on courts, lessons, rooms, massage, and personal training. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sean Blyle. I'm on the client development team here at MembersFirst. I want to thank everybody for spending their Friday with us over here, and I'm really excited to kind of take you through some of the functionality of the MembersFirst booking module. A couple housekeeping instructions for this morning for those of you who are new to GoToWebinar. Excuse me, the webinar will consist of a PowerPoint presentation. So we'll have a slide deck that I will be able to send out to all the attendees. However, everybody will be on mute. So I cannot hear any questions that you are asking. However, you can submit questions throughout the webinar, and we will save time at the end to answer all of those questions in the order they're received. There is a panel on the right-hand side of your screen that will allow you to enter in questions, and you also have the ability to maximize or minimize that screen depending on your view preference. So with that being said, let's kind of jump right into it. So for most of you who are MembersFirst customers, you all know that we do have a very extensive suite of reservations. For those of you who are not MembersFirst customers, we have reservations of all kinds. Some of the main areas that we do take reservations for with our private clubs are tea times, tournament registrations, event registrations, fitness classes, junior programs, and a la carte dining. However, for today's webinar, we're really going to focus on one module that covers a variety of different reservation types. Our MF Bookings module actually covers courts, which can be anything from tennis to paddle to pickle to bocce to squash. So it handles a lot of court reservations, which is what we will use most of the examples for today. However, we do have some clients that are using it for their, excuse me, their overnight rooms, their cottages, their hotels. They also use it for personal training and lessons, massage, spa reservations, in addition to room reservations. So if you're a club that has different rooms that people can book for, whether it's just book club or something like that, you can do it using MF Bookings. A couple of the benefits for your members. So we want to make sure that, yes, we're taking care of the members, but we're also going to show you some benefits for you as the administrators. So one of the benefits which is consistent with all types of reservations, is that your members are going to be able to make them online. However, if a member still decides to call the club, your team can actually put those members' reservations into the system as well. That way members get notified of their reservation. The members can also register themselves, whether it's on the regular website or their mobile app. And then it also helps drive members to the website, but it also engages them through email communications, social media posts, and then even with the mobile app, you can actually use some push notifications to promote those types of components. The confirmation emails are automatically sent to the members, so it allows them to view the information that they've just registered for. However, if they go to cancel or modify the reservation, they can also get those notices as well. Now, there's also a couple benefits for you, the administrators at the club, whether it's the membership marketing or website communications manager, or this could be for the department-specific administrators for rackets or fitness, so on and so forth. It allows you to create a seamless experience for your members. That way, you don't have to manage any forms. So there's no more online forms anymore. You can also streamline the booking process for your administrators by giving the members the ability to register online. It's a time saver for you as well. And then we can also create blockouts for resources. So for example, if you are a personal trainer, but you're only there on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoon, you can block out all of the times that you're unavailable. That way the members are only viewing what is available for your schedule. And that can happen with any of your personal trainers, your massage therapists, golf pros, tennis pros, you name it. Now, you also have the ability to not overbook anything as well. So administrators also have the ability to create what we call secondary resources. So for example, you may have, in the example of a court reservation, you may have certain add-ons like a ball machine. So you may only have 2 ball machines. However, you've got 10 tennis courts. So it's going to be kind of on a first come, first served basis. And you want to make sure if a member is going to book a court that they have the ability to book the ball machine. However, there's an inventory on those, so there's only 2 available. So you can use that for a variety of different things. Some clubs, when it comes to massage therapists, they may have 5 people who can do massage. However, you may only have 2 massage rooms. So you want to make sure that if the member is booking, there is a room or a ball machine, which is what we call a secondary resource, available for them to book. And then also, as with any online reservation system, you're going to get some great reporting on member usage, guest usage, cancellations, and check-ins. Now, for those of you who do have the MembersFirst mobile app, this is a great tool because the MF bookings, all the modules are actually available on your mobile app. So the member would just click on your club logo, pop open the mobile app. Of course, you're going to see the mobile app home screen. You would also see the search factor, which is the middle image here on the slide. And then what you would also do is search, similar to like if you were searching for a flight. So what we do, we take the same approach. So if I am flying from Boston to Florida, but I need to be down in Florida by 10 a.m., I only want to know what's available for morning flights. So I don't necessarily need to know what is available in the afternoon because my schedule doesn't allow me to play in the afternoon. So the screenshot in the middle of this slide asks the member to search based off of the criteria for their open reservations. Once the criteria has been searched, then the third screenshot on the right-hand side of your screen will actually now show you all of the courts and times available based off of your search criteria. Now, this is only on the mobile phone component. So when you're viewing this on a laptop, desktop, or possibly a tablet, which the screen size is larger, you may want to look at the full court sheet. So without further ado, let's just kind of jump into our demo site and play around with the types of reservations. So here, we'll pull over the demo site. And now keep in mind, I am an administrator at the club at Neptune Cove, so you will notice that I do have my on-page editing toolbar up here, okay? So I have already logged into the system, so it is remembering my username and password, so I'm just gonna click on Members, and this will take me to the members area of Neptune Cove. Now, in the members area of Neptune Cove, a few housekeeping items before we actually start making some reservations. One of the things that I really like is the way that the branding is consistent across the website and all reservation platforms. But one of the most important pieces, I think, for all reservations is the member recognition component. So as the member, let's just say they are, viewing their profile, in my profile, I, of course, have populated my photo and all my other information that's in here. Now, that will come into play because as I register for courts or lessons or personal training, my photo is going to appear on the registration. That's a very beneficial component for members who are booking other members for multiple reservations. But it's also going to be beneficial for your administrators as well, because your administrators will know which Francis Abernathy is appearing for this court today. The club that I used to work at had a few different Steve Murphys that were members. And it would be very helpful for our team to know which Steve Murphy is actually playing today. So I'm going to jump over to my rackets area for today's presentation. And there's a variety of different ways where you can access the court module. Now, granted, your website setup and design may be slightly different than what Neptune Cove is, but most clubs now will have some great utility navigation where I can access all my reservations, or you can actually have the content living right within your content area. And I've created a couple good calls to action over here on the right-hand side. And so for today's presentation, we're going to go in and first book a tennis lesson. Now, when we refer to lessons can be used, basically you're booking a person. So a person could be a massage therapist, it could be a golf professional, it could be a tennis professional, it could be a paddle professional. But the main concept is that we're actually booking a person to help me out in some service. Now, one thing you'll notice is that I've got 3 different available tennis pros. I got Billy Jones, Angela, and Sean. So this also gives the member the ability to book whichever pro they prefer. You can have additional information about these professionals. So maybe one is focused on, competitive tennis, social tennis, beginners, whatever the case may be. Okay. Now, one thing you'll notice is that we're looking at the booking sheet. And you'll see that on the booking sheet that there's already other people who have booked lessons. One thing to note is that I am logged in as an administrator. So that means that the administrators can actually see the names of everybody who has lessons that are previously booked. However, if a member logs in with their own profile, they will not see the other members that are taking lessons or having personal training sessions or massage appointments. Okay. So I'm just going to scroll down and I'm going to look over at Sean. Sean's my favorite tennis pro, so I'm going to look to book him. Let's book him this afternoon around, let's say 3:30 since he's available. Now I'm in the booking screen. Okay, this is a live system, so you'll notice right over here, you'll see that this is a live system for the next 10 minutes. Now, if I'm a little slower, I can also request more time, and it will reset the clock. Scrolling down, you'll see that from the booking screen, I already selected Sean Donaldson. I also need a court to play this on, so in the drop-down, it's only going to show me the courts that are available. Because with a rackets lesson, I need not only the professional, but I also need an available court. Okay, so it looks like other courts are booked. However, court 3, the south and the north court are all open. So I'm not only going to book Sean Donaldson to give me a lesson, I'm going to book it to give me a lesson on court number 3. And the time is already selected. You can have different lesson types. The duration, I'm going to select 60 minutes here. If I had video work or those ball machines, whatever the case may be, I would select other options. Now, down below here, this is where you would add in the members and guests. However, because I'm an administrator, I have to put in a member. Now, if Francis Abernathy was the member himself, logging in with his own username and credentials, he would not have to put his name here. As an administrator, I have the ability to add members. I also have the ability to see their membership number. And then I also have the ability to create recurring reservations. So for example, if I'm a tennis pro that says, hey, I'm going to book Francis Abernathy every Tuesday for the next month, I can do so. And then you can also ask any questions. So there's a couple sample questions that you may want to give the pro a little heads up on. Need to work on my serve. And then I would simply create the reservation. Once I've created the reservation, it will not only appear on Sean, the tennis professional's schedule. Okay. Now both Sean, the tennis pro, and Francis will get an email noting that Sean has a lesson at this time on this court. Now, let's flip this over and let's go in and let's make a tennis reservation. So as you can see, if I go over to my tennis courts, one of the interesting pieces about the system is that remember when we booked the court, okay, excuse me, the lesson, and as I scroll down, you'll notice that on court number 3, Francis Abernathy has a private lesson with Sean Donaldson, the pro. So because we booked the lesson first, it will also block it off on the court reservations module as well. Okay. Now, looking at the full booking screen, there's a couple different things that you can do here. So again, as an administrator, I can see all the other people who are playing today. As I scroll down, there's a variety of different available things on, anything from court 1 to court 3, and then South Court and North Court. As you scroll down a little bit further, you can also see that this has been blocked off for a junior tennis clinic. So if I wanted to sign up for this junior tennis clinic, I would just simply click on the junior tennis clinic. This would take me to the calendar where then I can sign up, and I could register myself, I could register guests, I could register my children if it's a junior clinic, and then I could also view current registrations if that functionality is turned on by the club. Now you also have the ability to block out courts as well. So you may be blocking them out for maintenance, you may be blocking them out for clinics, you may be blocking them out for a variety of different reasons. Now to book a simple tennis court, I'm going to let's jump over to a different day, and I'm going to jump over to, let's just jump over to Sunday and see what's available. So on Sunday, I can see it's pretty wide open, except for that junior clinic. It must be running on Sundays as well. So for that day, I'm just going to book on the South Court at 2:30. So on the South Court at 2:30, all the details are here. I may want to reserve a ball machine. And the member's name, of course, would already be in here. I can search for other members if I'd like, and I can also add related members, so I could see that my kids are available and my wife, and then I can also add in different guests. Okay. The member, again, as a reminder, the member would not need to add their name. The only reason I needed to is because I am an administrator. And then I'm going to just scroll down and make the reservation. Now, one of the great things about this system is not only will it put you back on the booking screen, and as you can see, there's Francis Abernathy's information. However, if I go to my calendar, whether I go to my full club calendar or if I go to my rackets calendar, so I'll go back to my rackets section, and I'll click on my rackets calendar. What you'll start to see is that your reservation systems are also connecting into your club calendar. So for example, you could see a variety of different things here. So even though I'm on the rackets calendar with only racket events or tennis events, you can see that I've got tee times here as well because this club uses our tee sheet. And if I scroll down, you can start to see that, on the 12th, I had a tennis court reservation. And then on the 23rd, there's my tennis court reservation. And you can also see that today I've got a tennis lesson with Sean. So all of your reservations are connecting back to your calendar. That way the members can plan their days accordingly. Now, before we jump over to the mobile app, what I want to do is be able to show you a few different areas that you can actually reserve. So for example, if I was to, if I wanted to book some personal training components, as a personal trainer, it is a very similar component as to booking a lesson. So you can see that there are, Mark, Sarah, Svetter, and Kevin. You've got all of these people available to book lessons, to book a personal training. So the functionality in the module remains the same. However, the configuration and setup will change. Now, the same thing goes for, let's just say that these are going to be hotel rooms. So hotel rooms or cottages, whatever the case may be, you may have information on here. It is going to be slightly different configuration pieces because it's no longer times on the left-hand side. It's actually going to be days. And one of the unique things we do with our system is that we highlight the actual weekends as well. And then you may have a few different rooms. This club has 4 different rooms, a little bit of information about the Admiral room. It has a view of the marina. But if I wanted to click on more info, it could take you to a different page that actually talks a little bit more about that. Maybe it has a photo gallery and a variety of other information about that. Now, this Members First Bookings module can be used for a variety of things. Like I mentioned before, it can be used for rooms, courts, lessons, overnight rooms, personal training, spa, massage. Now, we also have some clubs that are using this for miscellaneous reservations as well. I've got a couple clubs that actually have lakes, and they may have kayaks or canoes they can rent. So their members can book those as well. So there's a variety of different things that you could use this for. Okay, now what I'm actually going to do, let's move this over here. And I'm going to, give me 1 second while I show I'm going to do a little screen grab of my phone. And in 1 second, my phone should pop right up on the screen. Oh, let me try to run that one more time. Perfect. So just as a disclaimer, everybody is looking at my phone. So if I get any crazy text messages, I apologize. But so here's where we're looking at my phone. Okay. Now on my phone, you can actually see where I spend most of my time. But over here on the bottom right-hand side here, you'll see that I have my demo site. I've got the Club at Neptune Cove mobile app. So I'm just going to select my mobile app. Within my mobile app, just as a quick overview for those of you who have not seen the mobile app before, excuse me, we have the home screen, which the home screen actually goes through what's happening at the club today. So it will bring over your current events, your current announcements, anything that's happening today. It will also show you any types of content that you're publishing to the members that you want to view right in front. Up on the top right-hand side, you'll see that I do not have any unread push notifications. And then I've got my member profile through my barcode scanner. And then I also have my full navigation over on the left. Within my navigation, you've got a variety of things that you can access. You can access the club calendar, the member directory, your T-sheet, requesting your clubs, register a guest. You could do mobile ordering through to-go orders. There's so many different things that you can use the mobile app for. But for today, we're actually just going to scroll down and I'm going to reserve a court. So again, within here, we're looking for a search, okay? So within here, I'm actually just going to say, I'm going to search any court. We'll say court 1, any type of match, and I'm looking for 60 minutes. And I'm looking for, let's just say, the 25th. And my desired time is sometime in the afternoon. And I will hit search. What this has actually done is now it's actually giving me all the available times that are close to that. Now you would set the proximity for that so that now I could see just which ones are available and on which courts. So I could see that court number 1 is available around 1 p.m. I think I could sneak out of work a little bit earlier. So I'm going to hit reserve. And then as I scroll down, because I am logged in as a member, you'll see that I am logged in as Derek Abernathy. So his name is already here. I could just simply scroll down, add a couple guests if I wanted to. But for today's call, I'm just going to create the reservation. Once it creates the reservation, it brings me back to the full booking screen where I could view the entire court. And I can simply close out of the reservation, and now I'm back to my home screen on my mobile app. I'm going to take off the screen sharing mode now, and we'll move back to the PowerPoint presentation. And that concludes the presentation for today's MF Booking module overview. So what I'd love to do now is I saw a couple questions come in during the presentation. So what I'll do is give me just 1 second to review what those questions are, and then we'll kind of answer them in the order they were received. Okay, cool. All right, so we got a couple questions in here. Give me 1 second. Okay, I've got one question coming in through here. Can you book fitness classes through the system? So actually, I mean that's a great question. We would actually recommend using the MembersFirst booking module if you are booking personal training sessions. So if you're actually booking a personal trainer, so that's what this module would be used for. For your question for fitness classes, we actually recommend you should actually use your club calendar. So the fitness classes can actually be created and reserved through your MembersFirst calendar, which is included in the core package. So there's no additional fees for it, and that's what most of our clients are using today for fitness classes. What you would want to do is most likely create a new calendar category that is for fitness classes. That way you could kind of color code them, and you can have them appear on their own individual calendar in addition to the full club calendar. So I probably would not use MF bookings for fitness classes, mainly because you have that functionality already built into your system through the MembersFirst calendar. Great question, though. Okay, I've got another one that came in. Our club doesn't have the mobile app. Will courts work on our mobile website? The answer is yes. So the mobile app is not a requirement for the implementation of MembersFirst bookings. The MembersFirst bookings module can work on your regular website, whether it's mobile responsive or mobile optimized, but it will also work on your mobile app. So if you have not already implemented the mobile app, make sure to reach out to me if it's something that is of interest of you or your client services manager, and because you may have some loyalty rewards from your loyalty program that you could put towards that implementation. Okay, great question. Okay, I've got another one that's coming in. Looks like this is in regards to swim lessons. And the question is just, can this be used for swim lessons? The answer is yes. So you can use this program for swim lessons, similar to like golf lessons or court lessons or personal training. A swim lesson is most likely a one-on-one lesson with a lifeguard or a swim instructor. So the individual resources or people they would be booking would be the person giving the swim lesson. Now, if you were to do group swim lessons, then I would probably set that up in a similar fashion where you would either use the calendar for that component, or you can connect the calendar to the swim lesson module. Okay, so you could do individual or group lessons. Great question. Okay, I've got one more coming in. What does it look like from a pro's perspective? Can they block their own lessons? Yes, great question. Here, I'm going to bring that up here. Just so I think this question is, let's see. I'm going to move this out of here. And let me bring back the demo site. So from the pro's perspective, if a pro was going in to book a lesson, let's just say we're going to go in and book a tennis lesson. The pro and the member actually have a very similar view. They actually have the same view. So they would, bookmark this screen, and they would be able to go directly in here. And if the pro wanted to book their own lesson, they could go in and, select available, enter in the member, and then the pro would be booking their own lesson. Now, this question may have a few follow-ups on it. So maybe you don't allow your members to book lessons with pros and you only want to use this as an admin-only component. You can do that, okay? So you do have the ability to do that. Now, one other item that you have through here is that since I am logged in as an administrator, you can see that I have the member components over here on the left. But over here on the right, this is my administrative components. So just as kind of a follow-up to that first question, not only can I go in here and see all the reports by members and some general like utilization reports and things like that, I can also go into the administrative side, and the pros can block out their scheduled availability. So for example, Sean Donaldson, the tennis pro, may only be able to give lessons on Fridays and Saturday mornings because he's not doing the clinics or doing anything else. So they would go in there and they would put in their scheduled availability. But great question. Okay, and I'll put this back up on the screen so you guys can see my contact information. And let's see what other questions are coming in here. Okay, this question's coming in. So we have bocce courts at our club, which sounds pretty fun. Can the system be used for bocce? Yes. So just as a reminder, the module it's set up to handle all types of reservations. Bocce would kind of fall probably underneath a court. So it can be used for a variety of courts. It could be used for tennis, paddle, squash, bocce, pickle, paddle, any type of court. Just as a reminder, it can also be used for, we've used the example of personal training lessons. Lessons could be golf, rackets, swim lessons, massages, personal overnight rooms or cottages, that type of stuff. And then any type of miscellaneous resources such as like kayaks or boats or canoes or anything like that. I've got another question coming in here. What is basically what is the build out or the implementation timeframe? So a little bit of a loaded question, mainly because it typically it only takes a few weeks to be able to implement the system, and that's that covers kind of the resources on our end. However, the training on your end, training is included with the implementation, but at the same time, it really depends on how comfortable your professionals are. But we typically say anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks, just to make sure that you're giving your team enough time to train and get comfortable on it. And what some clubs do, well, they will run the system behind the scenes as an admin-only system, a week or two prior to opening it up for the members. So the ball's a little bit in your court. Sorry, pardon the pun, but actually the build-out time could be anywhere from we say 3 to 4 weeks. So this one, okay. I noticed there was a check-in button when you were making the reservation. What happens if a member doesn't show up for their reservation? Well, actually, great question. So you can actually use the check-in feature in a couple different ways. So the check-in feature and not every club uses check-ins for courts and personal training and things like that, but some people will. You can use the check-in feature to show that they've checked in. Maybe you've got somebody at the front desk that is checking them out. Okay, so you can use it for check-in, check-out, and then there's also a third component for no-show. That way, you can indicate whether the member and their guests or whoever it was or a person for the massage did not show up for the reservation. because you don't want to delete the reservation. You want to indicate that they no-showed. That way in your reporting, you've got the ability to, connect with the member to make sure that nothing happened. But at the same time, you may have rules and restrictions about, no-shows and maybe cancellation fees and things like that. So great question. This one is, so this one I actually see probably more for clubs that actually have, usually it comes into play with paddle courts, but this club, we have contract times for paddle courts. Can you handle recurring reservations? Yes. So for those of you on the call who are not aware of what contract times are, it's basically a reservation for a court for an extended period of time. So for example, if I have a contract time for 10 a.m. on court number 1 for the entire month of July. Some clubs allow their members to purchase those court and contract times. And so, yes, the system can handle a contract time. We call it a recurring reservation. And that could be used for courts, but it can also, that feature can also be used for lessons, like personal training or massage or something like that. So if I want to book, 5 lessons, they could do so. However, one thing to keep in mind is that these contract times or these recurring reservations, they are admin only features, so that the member cannot go in and book one reservation for the entire month of June, July, and August, whatever the case may be. Okay, that would be an admin only feature. If the member wanted to book multiple reservations, they could. They would just need to do them individually, which allows a little bit of a fair and equitable way for other members to book those times as well. Okay, so great questions. Okay, it looks like that. So it looks like that was all the questions I've got so far. But what I'll do is I'll hang on for just another second or two and see if there are any other questions that are coming into the question pane. Okay, great. So it looks like those are all the questions for today's webinar. Certainly, I appreciate the engagement and the questions at the end. But more importantly, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day today to learn a little bit more about the Members First Bookings module. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.